Are you feeling that need for speed, boys and girls? Just back with IGN's E3 live show, streaming on e3.ign.com and YouTube. Criterion has found great success with their metal-bending, car-crashing Burnout series, but it's time for something different. They've switched gears to make the next Need for Speed game, so let's see what they've got cooked up. With us now is creative director Craig Sullivan. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, Jess. So, Craig, Criterion's finally taken over the Need for Speed game. Can you tell us a little bit about where Need for Speed was and sort of where Criterion is going to be taking it?
Well, I remember I played Need for Speed, the original one, on 3DO 1996, 14 years ago, right? Been a massive fan of the series for a very, very long time. Really enjoyed playing as a racer throughout all of those years. Got a chance to play as a bit of a cop now and again, and it's kind of, we really thought about what we could bring to the series, and that special Criterion magic has, to us, always been about, first thing, if I gave you the pad, within 10 seconds, you're driving the car 200 miles an hour, drifting around the corner, laughing your ass off as you're going sideways, right? So that's what we're bringing first. Second of all, we've always been into really connected gameplay, so we're trying to rejuvenate and reinvent Need for Speed for a connected generation. To us, that means it's all about me and you as friends playing, not necessarily online at the same time, but even when I'm away from the game, you're playing, you're setting times, they're being pushed through to me via a system we call Autolog, and then recommending gameplay to me based on what you've been playing that I can then come back to and challenge you on.
So it's sort of an evolution of what you guys started with Burnout Paradise then?
Yeah, I mean, we've always been into kind of cutting edge stuff. So like I said, heavily online, heavily connected, open world. We're going back to open world again with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Over 100 miles of open road, inspired by the epic drive of that original 3DO experience a long time ago. Everybody remembers drifting that Ferrari Testarossa up over that hill. And you know what I'm going to say next, with the balloons come drifting up, right? Yeah. So, it's about that epic drive of just going flat out in these amazing looking cars and this great experience, and then having the cops on your tail and then running for your life.
Now, in Paradise, it was very much a grid city, so for Need for Speed, are you guys changing sort of the way you're designing the city so that races maybe play out a little bit differently?
Yeah, I mean, the key thing for me was, imagine if I had a Lamborghini Murcielago, right? Someone gave me the keys to it. I'd go downstairs, I'd open up the door, I'd have a nice look around it, I'd sit inside, start it up, I'd gun the gas and listen to the beautiful sound of the engine. And then the first thing I'd do is head it in the direction of like the rolling hills and out into the countryside so I could really open it up. What I wouldn't do is drive straight into downtown, downtown LA, and sit there at 2 miles an hour, in like gridlock. So,
right.
It's like we're taking it away from the city, more out into the kind of California-inspired kind of epic drives and beautiful sweeping curves of that kind of road.
Well, and one of the big changes for Need for Speed is that now you're going to actually be able to play as the cop through an entire career, right?
Absolutely. You can play through the entire game as a cop, both online and offline. You can also play the entire game as a racer, both offline and online. And it's not a case that you choose one or the other. You can actually play as a cop for 5 minutes and then switch over and play as a racer. They're two completely separate progression paths. Everything you do, both online and offline, earns you bounty, which earns you a new rank, which unlocks new cars, which unlocks new content in the game. So, we're trying to cover both bases, and we're really giving you that fully rounded experience.
Cool. Well, why don't we hop in? You're going to play as a cop right here, but this is going to be a 2-player match, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing against my good friend Matt Webster. He's going to be playing as a racer, driving the Koenigsegg CCX, and I'm going to be driving a Bugatti Veyron cop car, like the fastest car in the world. Kind of cool in other games, but really cool in Hot Pursuit because you get to play it in the cop livery. It's a little bit tuned, so it's an interceptor version, and I'll have weapons at my disposal as well, which you'll be seeing during the chase.
Cool, why don't you grab the controller and we'll jump right in. Now the goal here is basically, it's pretty obvious, you're chasing a crook, and your goal is to basically do enough damage to him that you can take him out, right?
Yeah, I mean here, the roles are very simple in Hot Pursuit. If you're a cop, you chase anybody that's not a cop. If you're a racer, you run from the cop. So it's a simple game of cat and mouse. It just so happens that the cat and the mouse can run at like 250 miles an hour. So, I'm going to chase Matt. We have a great setup here where we're all about it being a personal experience. So you can see Matt driving this car. If you kind of didn't know it was Matt, just